Welcome in, Harbor Hawk fans, to our first playoff game. It's a big one. Everybody here, little tension in the air, little excitement. Everybody's cogs are rolling. Everybody's getting going. Here, we're playing the Bourne Braves for game one. Fellas, we made it.
We did.
Season's over. We're on to the big time. We got to get going.
Start of a new season.
Start of a new season, essentially, right?
Yeah.
0-0. Everybody's even, slates are clean. It's time to make your name for yourself. Mike, give me a summary. How'd the Harbor Hawk season go? Give me an up and a down. How'd it go?
So the Harbor Hawk season started off incredible. In June, they were mashing the ball all over the place. They had power hitters. They had guys that walked all the time. They stole bases, and then they would just hit those guys in on singles or doubles, and the line would just keep on moving. This team was really a force in June. Even in the first half of July, they were holding on to first place in the West Division because of that awesome June. But July, they hit a tailspin. They won only 7 games in the month of July. That's not great. That's not what you want to do. For instance, they played half the month of June, and they won 8 games. So they won less than that in one entire month. That wasn't great.
No.
But it was enough at the end. They got enough wins when they had to sneak into the playoffs. They got a little bit of help from the Katuitt Kettleers on the last day, beating the Falmouth Commodores in extra innings. Now we're here. Now we're playing Bourne. It's time to party. No
more rooting for any other teams. Katuitt doesn't get any more votes in my book. I think this is, Hawks or bust. For everyone who doesn't know, these are all three-game series to win the championship. We have, 3 in this first, divisional stage, so to speak. And we'll have 3 games, the championship stage, so to speak, against one other team. We will move on and play teams from the Eastern Division in a 3-game series in the finale. Yes. 3 games against Bourne. The first one's going to be here. Second one will be at McKeon Park tomorrow.
Yes.
At what, 6:30? 6
o'clock.
6 o'clock? Next game, we'll be back here in Bourne. So
if we need it.
I hope we don't.
Yeah, hopefully Hyannis just wins in 2.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
A little extra rest day for everybody would be good. And speaking of rest days, it's going to matter a lot for the pitching staff. Hyannis has had some ups and downs, some guys coming in, some guys leaving for their pitching staff. So I'm going to turn it over to Tym Brown. Carson Yassa on the mound tonight. He's going to need those rest days. He's going to kind of, need to be good for the Hawks tonight. What do you see from him?
Well, Matt, talk about ups and downs. This guy was one of the hottest pitchers on Hyannis' staff throughout the early part of the season. He had a sub-2 ERA at one point. I believe going into the All-Star break, it was around that mark. And since then, it's inflated to a 4.67 ERA, considering his last start against the Falmouth Commodores. And that was a really intense game there for the Harbor Hawks that they needed to get into the playoffs and fell short, losing 13-1. Yassa himself gave up 6 runs, earned 7 total, and all of those in the first 2 2/3 innings. So a very difficult showing from him there. He was getting hit around the yard. He was getting hit hard. So now it's just a complete mental reset for him if he wants to do well here. You can't feel the pressure of this game because maybe he was there in Falmouth, but now you're looking at a situation where you need to step up and just rely on who you've been. You've been a flamethrower. You've been someone that can get by guys at will, and your off-speed stuff works like a charm when you're able to rely on yourself like he had in the early part of the season. So I think if the Harbor Hawks can, 1, give him some run support, and 2, just have clean calls back and forth behind the plate, we'll have a good day from him.
I think Carson Yassa will definitely set the tone early for the Harbor Hawks. I think if he's having a bit of a shaky start, you won't expect the offense to necessarily bolster the way they have. I think the offense has really followed the defense. Mike, Bourne's going to bring an arm of their own. I think that's going to be, definitely a key turning point for Hyannis. Can they beat the starter? Can they get to the bullpen early? Can they try to, get to some guys who aren't having their best day, assuming the starter is? What's Bourne bringing to the table, and how's Hyannis going to, fare against it?
Yeah, so Hyannis has done a good job all summer against Bourne Braves pitching. They have scored 36 runs against Bourne Braves pitching to 27 allowed by our pitching staff. And that's led to a 3-2 season series win for Hyannis. 1 win here at Doran Park, 2 at McKeon Park. We're facing a starting pitcher for Bourne today that we haven't seen this summer, and that's Matt Shorey, left-handed pitcher from Vanderbilt. This guy, being from Vanderbilt, he knows how to pitch in big games, in meaningful games. He's made 5 starts and 3 relief appearances this summer. His last start, July 29th, against the Brewster Whitecaps, allowed 2 runs on 3 hits and 2 walks, struck out 7 in 6 innings. He racks up strikeouts, Matt Shorey does. He's interesting enough, out of these 8 appearances that he's made, only 2 have come against West Division teams, that being the Katuitt Kettleers and Falmouth Commodores. And unless Bourne gets all the way to the championship, which we're hoping they don't, he has to face West Division teams. In 8 innings pitched against both Cotuit and Falmouth combined, he's allowed 4 runs on 11 hits, struck out 9, and issued just 1 walk. That's something we've seen from Matt Shorey this summer, is he does not walk hitters. So that's something Hyannis is going to have to be mindful of, because they're going to see pitches in the zone tonight. And you're going to have to capitalize on the good pitches in the zone that you can hit. And you want those pitches to fall into the outfield grass. Hopefully over the fence too, maybe a long ball or 2. I think that would
could be nice.
fun.
I can live with a
Yeah,
couple.
around here, as we've witnessed a couple of times.
Oh, this is that park. You're
Yeah.
right. This is the one where we can't tell if it goes over, it bounces.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a fan of those. Not a fan of those. Guys, I want to pose you a quick question really quick, because Mitch Carricker's brought this question up a couple times in a couple different ways. He said, strikeouts matter. We don't want our guys to strike out. But at the same time, he's also mentioned, if we have 10 strikeouts and we win a ball game, I don't care. We got to have situational hitting. So I want to ask you guys, what's more important? Limiting the strikeouts or hitting with 2 outs?
Limiting strikeouts at bat.
Yeah. Well, then you'll
Yeah.
never get to 2 outs, won't you, Mike? If you
that's
can,
true.
If you can make your outs more productive, I think that helps you, if anything. Putting the ball
sure.
in play is important to just get guys going and get them settled.
For sure. Like if you, say for example, Dayton LaChance leads off an inning with a double. Nobody out, run around second. That's great. If you can move him over with a well-placed ground out and then a sac fly, and then the inning ends after that, I think you'll take 1 run. You'll take that, absolutely. So I think limiting strikeouts is going to be what's going to make the difference for Hyannis.
27 outs in play would be great for Hyannis. I think that's the expectation tonight if you're going in. We need to make a bunch of outs in play, put pressure on the defense. I love that. What are some Bourne hitters you think are going to do something like? How do you think they're going to fare against Yasa and the Harbor Hawk pitching staff?
Yeah, so one guy you want to look out for is Riker Waite, the shortstop, a teammate of Matt Shorey's at Vanderbilt. He's got a .287 average, .409 on-base percentage, 33 games. He's got 2 home runs, 4 doubles, 17 RBIs. That's among the team leaders there, alongside Cade Lewis and Braden Holcomb. 15 walks, 13 stolen bases. Brody Briggs is behind the dish for the Harbor Hawks tonight. That's Riker Waite is somebody he's going to have to worry about on the base paths. Another guy, Cal Sefcik. He's an outfielder. He's been here 16 games. He's made his mark in those 16 games. He's got 24 hits, 7 RBIs, 3 walks. He's got a .422 on-base percentage. The guy likes to get on base. Another guy you want to look out for, he's in the bottom of the order today, 9-hole, John LeGrande. He's going to be key in flipping that lineup over for Bourne. He's their athletic center fielder. He's got a .389 on-base percentage. Out of his 38 hits this season, only 9 are for extra bases. And he's got 21 stolen bases. So what he does is he will single and he will steal second base. He might even steal third base too. And then the top of the order, they usually drive him in. That's going to be something as well that Carson Yasa and the Hyannis pitching staff are going to have to look out for. These are some guys for Bourne that are dangerous, and they've hurt the Hawks this year, and you want to make sure the big guys don't hurt you again.
As a pitcher, typically you want to go after 7, 8, and 9. It's going to be really hard for the Hyannis Harbor Hawk pitchers to do so today. Ryan Cooney and LeGrande at the bottom of the lineup. Those are 2 great hitters in their own right that can do damage. If that's a 1-2, it's almost like you're starting the top of the order there. That's a really, really hard part of the lineup to get through. And then you get to the 1, 2, 3 hitters. Those are the guys you really got to watch out for. I can expect the Harbor Hawks to really, have to battle through a lot of these at-bats. Speaking of the Harbor Hawks, how are they going to fare with the offense? They got to score more than 1. They got to score more than 2 realistically. I think 3 is the golden number. If they can get over 3, they can hope the pitching staff will hold them. That's my personal opinion. I think everybody'd like to see the Hawks score a bunch more.
Yes.
So talk me through some of those hitters. Where do you think their heads are at tonight? How do you think their approaches are going to change come playoff time? Or do you think they change at all?
Well, I think in the late stretches of the season, there was definitely a pattern of success in certain lineups that Mitch Carricker put out there, and today he's mirroring a lineup that he put in against the Orleans Firebirds, where the Hawks scored 6 runs, unfortunately got walked off at the end of that game, but the offensive production was absolutely there, no doubt about it. The Harbor Hawks want to see that again. So today they've got Devin Mitchell and Brody Briggs in the 8 and 9, Owen Prince up top, and of course Dayton LaChance at the DH in the 5-hole, where in Orleans he hit 2 home runs. That's going to be hard to replicate ever, but he's going to hit the ball hard no matter what, that. And, above him, Ryan McKay, Jay Stobie, and Owen Prince in the leadoff spot. As per usual, he's been really productive there. Excited to see him continue to be in that spot.
I think the big key for the Harbor Hawks is, as we've said before, timely hitting. getting good contact. And I think a guy who's going to do that in the 6 and 7 will hopefully, Jake Schaffner and Charlie Bates. Two really athletic hitters in their own right. They may have had their ebbs and flows throughout the season, but they're really, strong in the box. They're going to try to put contact on the ball. They're going to really try to find barrel through a lot of these at-bats. And I think the big key for those two guys, especially in particular, doing what you can. If you got to put down a bunt, put down a bunt. Make things happen. Small ball wins games. If you see an opening down the third baseline or the first baseline, make it happen. Use your speed, use your athleticism. Try to be a hitter today. I wouldn't try to, be a batter. I wouldn't try to bat the ball every time. Be a hitter. Get in there, hit the ball. You want to play the game of baseball. You don't just want to go, to your little top golf range and hit driver off the deck. You want to play golf. So I think these guys are going to play baseball today. They don't really want to just be mashing the ball, especially for those guys. Fellas, we need to have an X factor here. Somebody's got to step up. These games are always about who gets the timely hit, who makes the big play, who steps up. Mike, I'm going to start with you. Who do you think steps up today? And give me a score prediction while you're at it.
Well, you mentioned Charlie Bates and Jake Schaffner, 6 and 7 spots in the order. I think those are guys you absolutely need big games from. Charlie Bates in particular, he's probably going to be starting at shortstop most days for this team, as long as they are in the playoff chase. He's going to be somebody you need something from, whether that's outstanding defense or average defense and a couple hits a game. That's somebody you need to see something from at the plate. Schaffner, another one. You talked about bunting. He's a good bunter. He's bunted a couple of perfectly placed balls down the third base line that he's legged out for singles. I think you want to see that again. And it comes down to the big bombers too, like Dayton Chance, who last night wasn't that Sunday night, I should say, as whatever that was speeds past us. I'll call it an ATV. Dayton LeChance, you need to see a couple of hits. Maybe one goes over the fence from him.
I'd like to see
a couple RBIs. I would love to see that too. He's somebody you need to see a big game from, and he's going to be my player of the game as well. Dayton LeChance. Need to see a big game from him. Score prediction. These games have never failed to be high scoring.
No.
2 of these games have been decided by 1 run. 3 of these games have been decided by a little more than 1 run. 3, 6, and 12 run differentials specifically. I've got, with Hyannis having late season momentum against these Bourne Braves, I think for the most part, these games are going to be dogfights. Charlie Bates and Brody Briggs said just as much when I talked to them after clinching a playoff berth on Sunday. This game is going to be a dogfight. 8-7. Hyannis is coming out on top.
Okay.
It's going to be a high score.
High score, yeah.
I like that game. I like that game script a lot. Tim, what do you got? I have a feeling I already know your player of the game pick, but maybe I don't. So I'd like to hear it. I don't?
You don't.
It's not who I think?
It's not.
Well, I'm going to take who you think. You're a crazy person, so go ahead.
All right, it's Brody Briggs.
I love me a catcher.
Yes.
Going to have a good day today, and the Harbor Hawks need him to. Like I said, Carson Yassa has been looking a little mixed up in recent starts. I think Briggs is the guy to calm that down. He's improved defensively over these last couple weeks. It's big for him. Like Mike said, there's some active guys on the base paths here for Bourne, and they're going to get on at one point or another, unless there's a Carson Yassa perfect game on the table, in which case I'm fine with my Brody Briggs pick, because then he called it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes.
I think that's just as much a hand-in-hand thing. Yes, perfect.
But as far as realistic expectations, I think Brody Briggs has the chance to have the most silent impact on this game behind the dish, and then at the plate he's done a really good job of getting on out of the 9-hole. I know against Orleans he had a pair of walks and a hit, I'm pretty sure, and I'm sure that progression will continue today, as he has been great at flipping that lineup over. I love using that term, Matt. I don't know if I've hammered it into everybody's head enough, but Brody Briggs does.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
I think Matt, before
Go ahead.
I just want to mention this against left-handed starting pitchers this season, which Matt Shorey is. Hyannis is 5-7.
Yes.
Against right-handed pitchers, they are 10-14. Maybe it's better that we're facing a lefty.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Statistically, you'd say it's about the same dig.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So yeah, they're actually
exactly
even.
the same. But
Yeah.
Hey, I like lefties more for our lineup, and I'm going to stick with that, especially for my player of the game pick. Can you guess how many of our top 5 hitters in today's lineup are here since day one?
I think just
Ryan
one
McKay.
of them, Ryan
It's just
McKay.
one of them. It's Ryan McKay. This guy has invested so much time, so much energy, so much blood, sweat, and tears into this season. He's been here since day one. He's played with every single Harbor Hawk who has stepped on the field. And he's been on the field for almost every game this season, barring some rest days here and there.
And he's very splendiferous.
He's very
Absolutely
splendiferous.
splendiferous.
Very splendiferous. And you need a splendiferous guy in the 3-hole when it counts the most. I think Ryan McKay has a beautiful game tonight. It might not be your, hit for the cycle, make some crazy plays at second. No, it's going to be a silent one. He's going to have the slow plays. He's going to have the routine ground balls down. He's going to flip those double plays. He's going to find ways to get the Hawks in the dugout hitting, and once he is at bat, he's going to make it ruthless for pitchers. He's going to have tough at bats. He's going to take 8-9 pitches to get out of one at bat here. He's going to take a guy an inning off the board. And I think most of all, he's going to find a way to have a 2-out hit or a clutch hit. He's going to find a way to put a run across when it really matters or do something big with 2 outs. That's what I like out of Ryan McKay. That's what I like out of the Harbor Hawks. Fellas, what kind of crowd do you think we're going to get for Hyannis today?
Well, based on the parking lot situation, Bourne is predicting a rainstorm of fans. Maybe not cats and dogs, but people in persons.
I like that.
And they should be flooding it. I hope it's a lot of Harbor Hawk fans because they will surely need it in enemy territory.
Absolutely. I think, the biggest cheers will probably be us fellas, as always. I don't even want to sugarcoat that one. We're always yelling for the team.
Yes.
We always got a huge group of Harbor Hawk fans here that are going to be screaming. Fellas, what are they saying?
I think they're saying,
Go Hawks!